See if anybody comes in. Well, I guess YouTube doesn't has my account blocked. So we're going to go over a few things here. Since nobody's in here, it's going to be recorded. So just want to show you what's in Roxbury Township, New Jersey that they want to get rid of. True history of America. And this is the pyramid in the back of the dollar bill. See it? And then we have Route 46. It's a ley line. And we got the Eye of the Phoenix right there. You see it? One people would have wanted to remove that. I know people will see this because nobody will. We're just going to go over this. So the back of the dollar bill, the Eye of the Phoenix is to the left. This was the main roadway. It used to be here, and in 1956 they put in this one. This is the one that was completed 1933 in Dover, New Jersey. Route 10. Pretty wild. So the Eye of the Phoenix was off-center now. This is our system right here. I got another map. They changed the color. They changing the color in these maps to make them sort of harder to see. Okay, I've got some people in here. That's good. We're going over information, historical information that we were never told about. And anybody's in the chat, if you can say if you can see the screen, am I broken up? Because this is the first time I'm going live on YouTube. I go live a lot on TikTok. I've got over 22,000 subscribers. Okay, and my account here on YouTube is kind of, what is it called? Shadow banned, as they say. But we got a lot to go over. We're going to show pirates' treasure in tunnels. So if you're here, you're going to get to see down inside of a tunnel system that sits below over here, the Horse Oaks. So what's going in for? I hope it's not too far, and I hope it's not glitchy at all. Hey, everyone that's in the chat. Thanks for joining. This is amazing history that we've never told about. And it has to do with my ancestor grandfathers that were Robin Hood pirates connected with George Washington. That were from really wild. It goes way back into the 1600s. All right. We're going to go into Roxbury. But first, and mountain lakes and the ancient burial mound. And you put another golf course over more mounds. That's what they always do. When you follow this up here, you come all the way up. Here's the lake back on. This is a cool lake. This is a feeder lake. Now, what we can do is we're gonna go into the 1930 aerial pictures. I got some really cool maps here, and I've never showed them here on YouTube before. I see it's like down to one, but it's okay. It's going to be a recording online. Now there's a pack on 1930 aerial pictures. I don't know if you've ever seen 1930 aerial pictures, but this was the feeder lake for the 107-mile canal system that cuts through New Jersey from the Delaware River to New York City that they brought pirates' treasure inland on. Bounce, which is really amazing. All right, I hope I'm back here. I've got activity issue. Let me just check my internet here. What we got going on? Let me just check my internet here. What we got going on? Okay, let's try this. We're going to connect to a different server here. Let's see if we can get some better clarification on my connectivity. Things are running. So I'm just going to let this live go on here because I bumped up to about 18 there for a second and phew, they shut them all down because they connectivity issues. So this is down inside of the system. It's gold, platinum, and really soggy blankets. And then the other video showed, I don't know if you can say the word on here on YouTube. I have to be careful what I say. But this is down inside of a tunnel system that was robbed, I believe, in 2007 when they tore down a mansion, the Goonies mansion. And there's one person watching, so there's a lot of cool stuff that I have found. This one here. Let's go to this one here. This is another one. There's a lot of these little shorts. This is like me down with the camera scope, like 14 feet below the ground. This massive tunnel system, like 1,000 foot long or more. It's really big. So there's a jewel over here. There's, scattered treasure, all kinds of platinum. It's all clean, bottom of the tunnel system. And this site's all been scheduled to be bulldozed, knowingly it's here. And then you see, I'm not going to say it on here, but treasures, and we could be in a tomb next to treasures. And it's all real. It's not AI. It's real information. So we're going to go back down into Roxbury here. So I showed a little bit of that. And I know YouTube has got me, they don't like me showing stuff for some reason in my account. So we're back here on Google Earth. And we're going to go down into the pyramid on the dollar bill, Google Earth, because I want to show you the Horse of Oaks. Below the Oaks is where we just were. We're down in the tunnel system below the Oaks. Now this is the actual $1 bill pyramid. Okay. This is the Hercules powder plant in the middle of the boom booms. And then before that, this is in 1874. 1912 was the giant American boom boom stick company. I don't know if I can say certain words on here. I know on TikTok you can't. But I'm usually on TikTok, so I just want to show you. Now there's a Horse of Oaks here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little hard to see, but there's a design of a horse here. And there's what I believe it's the museum building. This is where the lawyers were. The Porfido family owns all this. And then you got the horse's tail here. And then there's a village dump site in this area that I had dug into. And all kinds of crazy, amazing artifacts. And then this is all messed up here. This is like a hill that goes way up. And this is a huge mound. And there's a tunnel system all the way across, and it used to cross the highway. This is in Roxbury Township. This founded on Christmas Eve and in District 25. What was in District 25? Now, it's a little hard to see on this map, but let's turn around. It's pretty cool what they did. This is, the Freemasons, they like to leave their mark when they build stuff. So now this neighborhood is a J, an H, and a B. Okay? And then within the horseshoe, and this is an M. There's an M here. Okay? When it's connected to Route 10, it made an M. And then there's a horseshoe with 6 oak plank light posts. And remember the 6 people that had passed looking for Oak Island treasure because they never found any. And then there was a canal pond that went through here. And then we're going to go over to one of George Washington's hospitals, because there's 3 hospitals in this area. And it used to cut across here. Pretty wild. There's still the canal still here that George Washington, and where they brought the King's treasures in the Roxbury up from the Raritan River, where the 4 rivers flow into Raritan Bay. And then there's some other stuff over here. We're not going to discuss that right now. But we're going to go down into George Washington's other hospital here. This is a pretty cool place. I don't know if you know about it. It's not on any records. It's like you have to dig for this stuff. And since I lived there all this time, here we go. Now here's George Washington's other hospital. Now this is on Cary Road in Roxbury Township, New Jersey. And then this is where, George Washington had his troops because they were protecting treasures, the founding of America. I believe George Washington was a Robin Hood pirate, said he owned slaves, but never did. And I know it's a little hard to get people to stay on here. Like I got on YouTube, I got 300-400 people watching me. And I just clearly see that YouTube doesn't like to push my content. They have me shadow banned, right? It's kind of, they got all the troll accounts that show up. So I'm just going to show this. So it's going to be recorded so people can go back and watch it later on. So that's one of George Washington's other hospitals. And look at this place. I can't believe they built this. Does anyone know what this could be? Was they built about 13, 14 years ago? Check this out. Watch this. Oh, big giant transmitting tower. Building underground. There's a massive underground facility here. This is called Vital Records. And this is supposed to be Veterans Park. Right? Wherever the veterans stuff is, where they built veterans parks and veterans memorials, you're going to find all kinds of crazy stuff. So below this hilltop You see those holes? It's like they drive in there with their vehicles. And they go down into the elevators. You know, all the little white vans. The little white vans. You know, the government white vans. And then they have this crazy transmitting tower here. And who knows what kind of signals are spewing out over the whole valley here to, I don't know. Not sure. And then here's the toxic waste dump. Oh boy, Fenimore. They were going to put in a solar farm. You know, they were going to put a solar farm in years ago. And then the mob guy came in and dumped all garbage here. It wasn't capping material. He was bringing in load after load, getting how much money. It was all sandy garbage. And what happened was, and oh, dude, down in here, it's all garbage still. There's all leaching into the rivers. It leaches into this pond here, and it goes into the river and floods, you know, through the whole valley. Roxbury Township. So this is like a toxic waste dump that was put in the ceremonial area. And then up here on the hillside, there's big caves that go in the ground, which are flooded with toxic waste now, leaching out into Roxbury. But no one seems to care about Roxbury's drinking water. No one seems to care about anything. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're all in a daze, like the neighbors and people. I have no idea why they're so the way they are. But hey, that's what people want to do. They want to be clueless and not understand what's around them and their surroundings. So we're going to go down to George Washington's other hospital here. It's pretty cool. And then this is cool. This is probably one of the best, most amazing buildings there is. Pirates Key. Why is there a Pirates Key building? That's two buildings, actually. This is Lincoln School. Built in 1918 on top of an underground puke range and Civil War Hospital. They built the school in 1918 with the top in the form of an H. Remember the hospital below. And up here on the hilltop, there's a big flat top mound. All like burials here. I believe it's all burials below the hilltop because there's tunnels that come under the big safe house. This safe house here, there it is. Big solid construction cement building. Let's back it out. Actually, I went on this property here and there's people a little freaked out when I went over and knocked on their door to see if I can get permission. Oh, there we go. Go back again. A little hard to see it. There it is. Solid concrete building with like 18-inch walls built into the mountain because there's a tunnel system going across. The same tunnel system that would go across would go down underneath of the schools, and it came underneath here, across here, through the cemetery, over to the hospital of George Washington. So there's another hospital here. Look at this. Check this out. We got two churches here. They're very important. There's 21 giant skeletons here. So if anybody's still watching, which I don't see anybody, because I guess they have no interest in real history and the hidden histories of America. But that's okay, because you'll all read about it in the book and everything else. And it just seems to be YouTube's got the problems with me, and they don't push my content, block it, and shadow ban it, copyright. I mean, it's a nightmare. But that's YouTube. You know, Freemasons, and Gmail, right? Do they own that? So let's go down here. I'll show you where the George Washington's placard is. There we go. There's another one of those little placards that aren't in any history books. And this one says, it's pretty amazing. It says it was the first meeting house in 1756. And then it was for George Washington's Continental Army. It's a hospital. It was an arsenal, right? And then we have 21 giant skeletons and the Oak Island Pirate headstone and a tunnel system connecting the churches. Really wild. So this is the first Presbyterian church on Main Street. So it was built in 1853. That's what they built in 1853. That type of construction out of wood, not like these big giant stone buildings that you see that they said they built. Now this one was built in 1851. Okay. Now this wall that surrounds the property, this is a prehistoric wall. Pretty wild, right? And then there's a prehistoric wall here. It's all pudding stone, and these are all spearheads. They're all spearheads, like all spearheads out of granite and crystal, like sparkly stuff. Really wild. And over here, where is it? Somewhere over here by the front door. I think it's over right here. There's a stepping stone they used to use for carriages. And then over here is another wall here. And then there's a special headstone outside that church window of everyone that's buried across the street, I believe, also. And then we have the Oak Island headstone. You can see it. Let's just go over here. I'm going to change a little left, because I haven't done one of these videos for YouTube, so even though that there's like nobody watching, I do appreciate people watching. If you could like it and comment below, but share it out. But It's okay. It's just YouTube. They're not used to me with this information. So outside this church window, they left you a receipt that there's a headstone. Go check it out. I want you to check it out. Now, this headstone here has two big trees in a box. Nobody in the 7 plots below. I checked with the cemetery. I checked with I checked with the church, and then the ones that run the cemetery from the early 1700s. The family that runs the cemetery. It's like all the same people. So there's nobody in that cemetery. There's nobody in this headstone that sits outside the church window. And then there's a tunnel system connecting the two churches. Well, there's a tunnel system under the headstone. Wait a minute. It says they're supposed to be the Lippincott's are buried there. But this headstone here is a coded headstone. Nobody in the 7 plots below. But two big oak trees in the box on top. March 21st, 1856 date. The first slave to become a soldier and graduate West Point University. And on the back side of the headstone is Robert G. Shaw's name and information for Robert Small. Oh, the list goes on. Truly amazing. Anderson Hayes, Henry Martin Tupper. Henry Tupper built Shaw University. Whoa, wait a second. Yeah, the Oak Island mystery's been solved. He was a good man. He was an educator of all kinds of people. Didn't matter your skin color. He loved everyone, and he wanted to help everyone. And that's why he opened the university. And at first, it was like, it was black only, and everybody can go there because they wanted to give everybody an education because he thought education was the most important thing in the world. So now that's where the headstone is. In the 7 plots, but a tunnel system connected below. Now across the street, right up there on the hilltop, is where we just were, and we're going to go right back to there. Just back out of here real quick. Back out of this, 1 second. Back out of this, and we're going to go back across the street to where they're all buried, which I believe they're buried right here, underneath the Horse Oaks, because that's where I have videos in the tunnel system, which I'm going to bring up again because I dug a hole over 4 nights. I lived in a basement. That's pretty wild. This house here is a freak house. This is the craziest place I ever lived in my life. This woman is a crazy cat lady. I'm going to call my ex-landlord a crazy cat lady that has 2 cats, and she only cleans the kitty litter box between every 7 to 10 days. And then when she does clean it, she takes the garbage can. That basement, I moved to that basement. I went in that basement on January 12th, 2022. And it just so happens to be that George Washington's birthday and the Julian calendar is January 12th. And I had a lot of occurrences with George Washington sites when I was a child. We used to go to 4th of July picnics. There was a house across the street from my house from George Washington. So what I did was I snuck up in here in the woods, right up here in the hilltop. I dug a hole over 2 nights and then drilled for 2 nights until I got through a tunnel system, like the hardest concrete, like they talk about in Oak Island, like this crazy concrete. It took me 4 hours with a hammer drill. Look, I borrowed a drill bit first from her brother. Oh boy, her brother came in one day. He showed up in a car here. He got a big black SUV. He's electrical inspector, 3 most prominent town. He parked here. He texted me come outside. So I came outside with a nice fishing spearhead. It has a big barb on it on one side of my left hand, and I had like 4 or 5 other small artifacts in my hand. And I came walk out and said, "Hey, Rich, check this out." Because what happened is the state of New Jersey archaeologist sent him an email saying that everything I discovered is just a rock. But I'm already in the museum in Canada. Listing number 211. Oh, they gave me George Washington's birthday, Julian calendar again. This so happens to be all these connections. So inside this tunnel system, we're going to go back into this tunnel system. I'm going to show you what's down in the bottom. Now this is a real video. This is camera scope video, and there's sound too. I have the sound down, and because you can hear the sound. Some of them have sound, some of them don't. 1 second. See, it's not playing right now for some reason. Hold on a second. Let me just get out of this. Back again. Okay. Just give it 1 second. Here we go. You hear it? Camera scope video. This is real. And the camera up top is the box. The camera is where the sound comes from, right? This is all real. This is really wild. This is what's left after a robbery, right? So there was all these treasures in here, I believe, and then it all back up, and they planned on building, like in a few years, a Walgreens there with some other very important people, and then they couldn't get that, and then they got approval to build 12 homes, and the contractor dropped dead. The contract, seventh man of Seven Curses Oak Island. No longer with us, everyone. Just so you know, when he was, that's why this treasure can be found and it can be told the story. It's truly amazing how the prophecy has actually been fulfilled. And then I lived in the basement of the Romans. I'm not even going to get into anything. They're looking for some sort of spirit here, and we're all, we're all creators. They don't want you to know that. So, this is back in the tunnel system again. And what we're going to do is, I showed that a few times. So let me just go back to here real quick. This is a Google Earth. We got that one here. This is the 1930 aerial picture. I'm going to go with this one here. And what I want to do is I want to show everybody a couple Google Earth. We're going to go around the world. We're going to go all around the East Coast here. But this is just the 1930 aerial pictures where there's just amazing lakes. Like we're going to go to another lake up here that has all kinds of geographs that they built the neighborhoods right on top of everything. Let's see if I can find it right now. These maps are, they're like, it's trying to figure out where you were in 1930 and in New York today. Right? Well, the Dragon Lake is up here. The Fish Lake, Anunnaki, the fish. Okay. And up here, here is the Dragon Lake. And it had geographs in the center of it, and they kind of built the neighborhoods over everything. It's a dragon. The dragon. New Jersey's a garden state. The four rivers flow into Raritan Bay. So let me go back to my Google Earth, because I want to take you into the Jersey Shore. Check this out. You should see the ancient script in all of the coastline. And then before we go there, let's check this out. Does anyone ever notice that the Long Island coastline is a face of a giant? You see that? Second, okay, because I'm on this live. Just give me 1 second here. I just want to not be too noisy. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is Long Island coastline. And if you're a smart enough guy, you're going to find John Youngins. That's the Saratoga for George Washington. And before we go down the Jersey coast, we're going to show you the Ram's Head. And people are going like, that's a ram. Yeah, this is a Ram's Head. You see the Ram's Head here? I mean, it even has a mouth. It's amazing what they did. This is Brooklyn, New York. His face. Okay, look, there's an eyeball. An eyeball like Oak Island, right? Where the money pit is, where the money pit was, that was cleaned out, and the FDR was there in 1909 that printed the 1935 treasure map. This is the eye. And then when you go here, this is really wild. Check this out. Because we went here and explored this. Because there was a battle here in Brooklyn. There was a battle here with George Washington against the British. He kicked their butts, as they say. And then this is one heck of a place. I tell you what, if you haven't been to any place like this is a place you want to go on your bucket list to explore. Truly amazing inside. There's all types of mounds. And then here, like once you go around the inside here, it states that 67 patriots perished here in August of 1776 when there was a battle between the Continental Army, George Washington, and the British. And they won it. They won Brooklyn. And Brooklyn actually is where the 1820, is where the steam yard, where the shipbuilding yard is, where they built the USS Ohio Hercules steamship. Really wild. And I found where the steamhead, where the figurehead is in Long Island. It's really amazing, the everything, right? So let's zoom back up here. We're going to go back to and this is all mounds. Look at all the mounds. There's lakes in here. There's all mounds. Let's see. Let's go back to here. Go back to here real quick. Taking pictures inside the cemetery. I want to show you a couple. That's when you come in, and then there's this huge, oh boy, there it is. Whole thing here, all kinds of buildings. Maybe it's over here. I don't know what this one is. Let's check out what this one is. Nope, it brought me to somewhere else. What is this one here? It's just a big rounded area. Okay, look at the mounds. Huge mounds. Like all of Brooklyn is flat as a pancake. You go to this place, there's mounds and tiered mounds, and wow. And look, it's all mounds around this whole circle. Look, it's a circle with a big area in the middle. Okay. But we're going to zoom out here, and I'm going to go back down the Jersey coast. Let me get back my maps. One more second. Come on. So that's the Ram's Head. Oh, before we go from Long Island, we're going to go down here. I want to just show you something here. This is really cool. They left their mark too. Now, this is Fire Island, okay? And when you come down here, if you never explored Fire Island before, they messed with my internet. My internet is locked up right now. So there's a Flower of Life here. A little hard to see it in the blurred map. Let's just see if my mapping system is. Yeah, something to do. Go on the internet. Internet goes whack. It's going to come back. Hopefully. If not, we're going to have to go to the pictures I have. Internet connectivity problem right now. We're going to start another live again later on or tomorrow. Every day or every other day. So I want to appreciate everyone that was watching here because my internet is just. Is it back? Did it come back? Nope. It's working. I got to restart the computer and everything because it does that sometimes. So there's a lot here to see, and then go down here to the coast. Just go into the swamplands here, and you're going to see all the ancient script, which you can't see right now because my internet's not working. So I want to thank everybody for watching. There's so much more. And the Great Lakes are all in the faces and figures. Like, I mean, this is real. Look at that. Maybe you can see that, the deity here, And you got the dragon head, mouth open. It's the prehistoric ones from way back in time. They're like if you go to New Zealand and other places around the world, there's so much. So thanks for watching. I'll be back doing another live. I'm usually on TikTok, doing lives there, and I'll have hundreds of people. It's really amazing what we find. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it.